Hello, Teresa here from Rochester in Kent in the UK. I'm really sorry that this is going to be really rushed. It's going to be really short, but there's only a week to go until Christmas, and I've got so behind with project works. As you know, it's been a really hectic 6 months or even a year, but I'm here now. Unfortunately, this might be too late for some of you to make, but it doesn't have to be for Christmas. Depending on the fabric you use, it could be for New Year or a celebration. Even, I know I'm jumping the gun a bit here, for Valentine's Day. So what am I going to do? Well, it's actually a wreath. Now, it's a very small wreath, and I got the idea recently. I'm walking along the path outside my house, and I walked past a neighbour's house, several houses down, and on her lawn there were 2 rings. Now, I can't put my hand on them at the moment. If I can find them, which I need for this project, I'll show them to you. I did take some pictures of them, so hopefully I can put pictures there. So anyway, these lovely metal rings were only about the size, maybe, or between a tea plate and a dinner plate. And I thought, I'd like those rings. She's probably put them out for the scrap merchant who comes up and down the road looking for washing machines and anything metal. Anyway, they were there for about 3 days. I really didn't want to knock on the door because I haven't been here long, and I don't want them to think, oh, a crazy lady up there, who's just moved in. So I left it. They were still there a couple of days ago, doing nothing. Edge of the garden, near the path, just right for the scrap merchant to come along. So I waited until it was dark. I popped down there, picked them up and came back. So I thought, that's not stealing, not at all. It's just utilising what could have gone rusty, what could have been picked up by the scrap man. So they were, or are, what I'm intending to use as the basis of the wreath. Now, believe this or not, at the same time, within a day or two, or before I'd picked up the rings actually, I passed a skip. Now I'm still thinking about the rings and I hope nobody takes these lovely rings. I passed this skip and look what I found. I found all this just peeping out from the skip. Somebody had obviously cleaned the house out and had thrown these. There's silk roses. These, unfortunately, these are plastic. These are plastic, but hey ho, that doesn't matter. I could take those off, or I can leave them there. They're about, I've got 2 here, and they're about 1 metre long. And I thought, well, put these with the rings, and what have I got? A really pretty wreath, the basis of a wreath. Hence that night I went down to the garden, took the rings, washed these. They have been thoroughly disinfected in just some warm soapy disinfectant, and they've come up really beautiful. I mean, look at that, isn't that lovely? So here we are with found objects, and I'm about to introduce you again to scraps. All scraps. I bought these, I can't remember where I bought these, but they were being sold as scrap squares, and the way they're cut and had the bundle they were in, I imagine that they are from a manufacturer who just has a lot of scrap over that they can't actually use, so sells them off as bundles, and there they go, very reasonably priced. In fact, I don't even know, I have got similar in the past from Amazon, but I don't think I got these from Amazon, I'm not sure. So anyway, that's the story of where we're going. But before we go there, I just want to show you this. Now, we made this, so I don't know if it was this year or last year, I can't remember. It's a paper bag, and it's lined my travel sickness things in there, and it keeps my passport in there. Well, I used it on the trip to Germany, 2-3 weeks ago, and I've used it now maybe 4 times since making it, and it is still as strong as it was after I made it. Look at that. Look at this. No splits, tears or anything. And it's been in my bag, in my suitcase. It's been pulled out several times for passport control. I keep my sickness travels in there, the passport, and even my little purse goes in there, and it's just handy. It's just wonderful. So I just thought I'd show you that. I'm not sure when the video went out. As I said, maybe a year ago. It might even have been early this year, I can't remember. But that's just an update on this. Okay? Paper bag, back. So anyway, on that note, welcome to new subscribers. Thank you for the comments on Facebook and YouTube. And I really will try to catch up with those tonight. Jackie Galloway, I hope you're feeling better. Jackie's had a rather nasty fall and isn't too good. So, Jackie, I hope you're okay. So, with that, I'm going to move on now. So, you know where we are. You know what to do. Coffee, feet up, a little bit of your time. Okay? Or, as we know, me time. Okay? So, here we go. Don't forget that you don't always have to do the embroidery or the embellishment yourself. Some material is so lovely that you could get away with using your scraps. Look at this. This is just beautiful. I think we've used this before on another project, and it is lovely. So why reinvent the wheel, so to speak, by doing this by hand when it's already done? So what we need to do here, I've got enough for 1, 2, 3, I think I've got some more as well elsewhere, a little bit more. So all I'm going to do is place this square, which is 2 3/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches, 2 3/4 inches by 2 3/4 inches. Okay, so all the way around 2 3/4 inches. Now I'm going to fold this as I have already, like that, to find the center. Right, so now we know that is the center. I'm going to put this here, and let's start with that one. I'm going to put that there in the center there. Okay, there we go. I think I'll turn that round. Center to center there. And that way we know that is in the center. Now, where's my little pen? Right, I'm going to use this. This is a white marker. And I'll cut this out. Very faint. And now I'm going to cut that out all the way around. Now on the back of this, I'm going to use up some of these scraps of felt. I don't think that's big enough. Oh yes, yeah, that's a nice match. Or even that's. No, I'm going to go for red. Nice Christmassy, romantic colour. Oh, I'm only just going to get away with that. And I'll cut this out all the way around. Then I'm going to place them edge to edge and sew them round. And I'm going to do this by sewing machine all the way round. You could put them like right side to right side and do them all the way round, leaving a gap for the stuffing. All right, so that's my next step. Just going to sew that now all the way around. I'm not sure whether to leave it that way or I think I'm going to do this one inside out, right side to right side, just to see how big they sew up. So thought while I was machine sewing one, I might as well machine sew 4. So I've prepared another 3 there with different coloured backings. This is the one that I just finished sewing, and I can see that it needs a little bit of a trim. Now I'm going to try and pull it through to the right side, aware that the felt can sometimes be a little thick to oh no, I'll take that back. So here it comes. Very carefully push out the corners. Yeah. Making sure not to push too hard. There we are. Now that is ready to stuff. I'm going to just turn that in that way along the natural seam where the seam would have been if I continued to machine sew it. That is where I'll be turning it over. But first of all, I'll pull that into a little bit of shape and just stuff it here. So just stuff that. These don't take much in the way of stuffing. Make nice little pin cushions as well. So there we go, in there. I'm going to push that in, and as I just said, I'm going to just turn that over at the natural seam allowance and pin. Okay, let me take a couple of pins, so just pin that there and along there. Oh, it's very fiddly. I'm not sure how anyone with very long nails can do this sort of thing. There we are. Now that little gap there, you can see it on the screen, will be over sewn with a tiny little stitch that we've done before from one side to the other, over and over. Okay, so I'm going to do that now, and I have the choice of red or white thread. I think I'll go for white thread just because it's here in front of me. So I got a bit carried away, and I've now made up 6, and I think they're looking really good. I've put a little bit of embellishment in the centre just to catch the light, and it's a star sequin, and on top of that attached is a round sequin of a different colour. The centres are different colours, and I think they will catch the light nicely, especially if they're near fairy lights or a main light. So I'm quite pleased with those. They've got different colour backgrounds, 2 red ones. Those are different. These 2 are different colours, but they're not coming out on the screen. So I'm not quite sure yet if I finish with the embellishment. I might add a few bits between the spaces here. I'm not sure yet, so I need to put those away. I'll have a look at those. I'll revisit those in a little while's time. But while I'm deciding what to do with those, I've cut out some hearts. I then drew a template of a heart, the size that I want, so be guided by the size you want, and then just easy peasy, I'm doing these in a different way to how I did the little cushions. The cushions here, the saw cushions, were machine sewn, as you know, and they were face to face, right sides together, machine sewn, and then turned inside the right side because I was sewing them on the wrong side. These I'm going to do by hand, wrong sides together, and I'm going to sew them with the right sides up, the right sides of the fabric facing out. Now I don't want to start down there at the point, although it doesn't matter with this particular stitch because all I'm doing is a running stitch all the way around. So I've put a knot in the end that's going to be hidden inside like that. It's now hidden inside, and with 6 strands, I'm going to use the 6 strands on here. I'm going to do very well, hopefully a small neat running stitch all the way around. Now with this long needle, my favourite needle, I can load it up quite a lot and then pull it through, and that is why these don't take that long to do. Now the thread is quite thick, as you can see there, so a little bit of a tug to pull it through. You can actually use less thread if you feel like that. I think on some of mine I've used 3, but I think the yellow looks particularly nice. And making sure it's edge to edge the other side. If it isn't, if they are a bit mismatched, don't worry because we can easily trim those. Now I'm going to do that all the way round and just leave a tiny bit at the side open to put the wadding through. So I'm going to carry on. You see that looks a bit mismatched there, but I'm not bothered because I will trim that all the way round. Right, I've just gone past the point. Oh, that's a very large stitch there. That's a big stitch there, but I've sewn it all the way round. I've left the opening there. It's a thumb width of my thumb. I'm just going to cut that a little bit like that, put the needle to one side. So I'm now going to trim around this, and they were mismatched, but not too much, just around the curved bit at the top there, a little bit there. It's hard to see when you're working with the same colour, one on top of the other. Right there. So that's how much it needed. Now I'm just going to go back to the entrance here and put some wadding in there until it's nicely stuffed. In this gap, you see the gap I've left, I'm just going to just push that in all the way to the top of these round bits of the heart. And I might need a little bit of help with this, so I'll take that. This is a stylus for the phone, so just push that up there, a little bit more in the other side. There we are. Now I'm going to re-thread the needle, making sure to push these bits in. So re-thread the needle here. So the needle's re-threaded, just push in any bits of wadding that's hanging out, and we just carry on. I'm going to do a back stitch there to make the point, a point there with the last stitch. Back stitch there, and then I'm just going to carry on around the shape like so. And then I'm just going to go over once, go back on that one just once to make sure it's locked, just once on there, and then I'm going to lose the end inside the heart like that, and then cut that off so there aren't any straggly pieces hanging. And there we have the heart. Now from the outside you can actually rejiggle your foam, your stuffing, if you notice a place that is isn't stuffed too well. Now I've just noticed that that bit there is too long. I forgot to trim that bit, or I didn't trim it. Right, there we go. So now I'm going to just that's it. I'm going to trim that bit off there. Trim some of that wadding off that's poking through, and there we have the heart. Okay, so I'm going to carry on and make some more of these hearts, and then decide whether these need embellishing. Well, I spent a very nice couple of hours just making up these hearts. It was in front of the television, didn't have to think too much. Once I cut them out, got my threads by my side, it was really good, great fun to do, and hey ho, look what I've done. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 of these hearts. They're all, some of them are double backed with fabric, others have got plain backs, because I'm not sure if these hearts might need breaking up in some way. I think together they might be a bit overpowering with all these patterns going on, so I might think about breaking them up and adding some of the plain sides, but that's a little bit in the future. Now at this stage I'm not sure whether I'm going to embellish them or not. Now I've found some of these little buttons and these were buttons that I cut off in a hotel room for a project I was doing there and needed a button, so I cut these off my cardigan, and I'm not sure if they might go nicely. Oh, maybe not red on red, maybe red on so I think they might need just something to glamorize them a little bit, because it's Christmas and a celebration and everything's OTT. I might add a little bit of glitter, a little bit of bling to these. Now I'm just going to stretch over here to where the cushions are. So this is what I've got so far: hearts and the cushions, all for the same wreath. So I'm going to spend some time as well deciding how to arrange them. I might even have too many hearts, but then if I do, I can always make some sort of hanging decoration. So this is where I am. I'm now going to consider whether to carry on embellishing these, and whether these need to be embellished, and maybe make a couple more small ones out of the shiny fabric. Actually, I'm looking at this in this one of these storage things. Now we've used these before as well on something. I'm wondering if this would make a little heart, not on one of these, but its own little heart. If I could even cut some of these from a sparkly fabric. Wouldn't want too many. What's that there? Aha, not that. And that. These are all things on my table, but I might play around with these for a little while, see what I come up with, and as soon as I've made a change or a decision or done some embellishment, I'll get back and show you how far I am. I put the buttons on the centres and pulled them in tightly to give a nice plump look, like the cushions here. Nice little plump look going on there. I've used yellow, red and white, and I think I'm going to use on the rest of these a little bit of green. Now I'm going to push those away for a little while and then get back to this. Now what I'm going to do with this is to first of all take off the the pink roses, because I can't really see them fitting on. Now I really can't find those things that I stole, those circles, so I'm looking at using this little wreath. I had to pop out and get this because I can't find the metal circles. It was a couple of £2 in Hobbycraft, but I think you can get them actually cheaper elsewhere. I can't remember how much it was, but I do know I have seen them cheaper. You can even make one from cardboard. So there's no problem about getting hold of a circle like this. Just cut the centre out. So anyway, I'm going to cover this in some foliage, and I'm taking the foliage from here. Now you could do it in a lovely fresh green, anything you've got growing from the garden really, and that would be beautiful, but I'm doing it this way. So I'm just going to trim this, just trim the end there. Then I'm just going to carefully take these flowers off in case I need them for something else. Oh, they're ready to come off, so perhaps that is why someone got rid of them. Yeah, those I would think this could be quite old. The way the plastic at the back is just a bit brittle, but these flowers are just ready. Right, take them all off. This one here, like that, and I'm just going to wind this around the wreath. Now, have I got some sellotape here just to hold it down? No, I haven't. This is such a mess. New Year's resolution to tidy up this room until the workshop's got its steps. But although it's so cold here at the moment, it would be too cold to work out there in what is actually the garden. I haven't said it's too cold, the heater's come on. Right, I'm going to push that under here, under one of these pieces there, and just wind it around just to see how it looks. And I think at this moment I'm going to leave those white flowers on. I know they're plastic, and to be honest, I'm not a great lover of plastic things. I'm just purely natural really, until it comes to mascara and eyeshadow. Right, so round like this, and it would be nice if I could get most of the foliage around the front and not around the back. Or one of those white flowers come off. But I can see I'm going to have to spend some time just rearranging this a little bit. Just looking at the back. Ooh, very bushy at the back. I have to see which side looks the nicest. Right, now that doesn't look quite evenly distributed, so oh, I don't know, that's looking okay. That goes, can go round there. Ha ha. Well, are you all ready for Christmas now? Those of you who celebrate. I think I am. We had a family party yesterday. Instead of going out to an expensive restaurant, we decided, well, my daughter decided that Mum and Glenn would hold this little do that she would prepare and everything, and it was lovely. It was really lovely. Obviously that the whole extended family couldn't be here because my stepdaughter lives at quite a way, but another time. But it was lovely having the two grandchildren here, the two little ones. Of course there are another three, but once again they live at a distance, but although we don't see them, they're certainly not forgotten about. So anyway, the gist of that was when I was shopping for this do yesterday, I actually the do we had yesterday, I actually managed to get quite a lot of Christmas shopping as well, including the turkey, which I'm pleased about. Right, now, so I'm actually on top of mine, considering it's been really busy. Now I'm going to secure that down. I'll do that off camera because I might use a little bit of hot glue on there and I might not. And then I'm going to start thinking about placing these, okay? I have got some flower arrangers I don't know what you'd call this wire, some flower arrangers wire here, which I thought I could put through these and then tie them on, but I'm not sure. I am literally playing for time here, so I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. But first of all, I'm going to take some time off, and I'm going to stick this down. Oh, sorry, not stick it down, put the ends down, choose a side before putting these on. Okay, to avoid it looking fussy, all I've done is put the foliage halfway round the circle, and I think I might have it this way round. Not too sure as always, because it looks so different on the screen. And oh, I don't know, that looks quite good as well. I liked it that way, but I think what I'll do, I'm not really going to make my mind up until I put all the little hearts on around. Now I intend to hide some of the hearts underneath the foliage and have some on top. Now this isn't how I planned it in my head as I started. I thought it was just going to be all green and then the hearts evenly spaced, but it's not turning out that way, so I'm going to carry on. Now it's also not carrying out the way that I thought I would be attaching these with twine or thread from the bottom or from the top down and tying it at the back. So I think these will have to be glued in place. Now I'm going to carry on. The next time you see this, the hearts will probably be in place. I don't think it'll be finished, but this is all I should be doing now, is putting the hearts down, placing the hearts and the cushions. I'm making some sort of arrangement that hopefully looks good. I'm not so sure about this one. Anyway, having said that, I'm going to carry on, work out a few problems I can see I'm going to have, and I'll get back to you as soon as it's almost or nearly or even finished. Well, I think I've finished it now. I've got it hanging on the bedroom wall. You'll have to excuse the curtains on the left and that wallpaper on the right. I inherited them when I moved into the house, and we haven't decorated yet, but here we go, looking down the wreath. Now, I hope you like it. There, I've got little dangly bits there. Now this didn't take long, and I have to admit that there is quite a lot of hot glue on here. Now anybody who's been with me for quite a while will know that I never liked using glue on my work, but needs must, and I'm eating my words now because there is glue on here, but it's still fabric. Yeah, it will last the Christmas season, I hope, and I'm quite pleased with that. I'm just going to make that smaller so you can see a different view. That's what it looks like at a distance. And there we go, finished. So there we are. That wallpaper in the bedroom is pretty gross, but since I've been here now, what, maybe nearly 2 years, I've had this overwhelming desire to connect the points and make them round and have some neurographic art going on there, and it's getting overwhelming, this urge, so one day I might do a project on some neurographic art and you'll see that wallpaper again. But anyway, this is now finished, completely finished. It's up to you whether you add a little bit of glitter, a little bit of bling. Once again, I think I've shown you these before in the last project. I do have some wooden things like this, but I think it's so busy and colourful, it's holding its own without anything else. And you know, I love to put lace bits of lace or bling on them, but I think I'm going to leave it just as it is now. I'm actually going to take it downstairs and hang it up on the wall. I'm quite pleased with that. So anyway, I'm not sure if this will be the last project before Christmas. If it is, hope you all have a lovely time and you all keep safe, and we'll all meet up again in January. So unless I can squeeze a tiny little project out, please take care. Well, take care anyway, and I will speak to you again in January. Okay, now take care and have a very happy Christmas.